Hello everyone, this is your 5 and welcome to go with my Central Toy Review. And today's toy we're looking at the 1989 release by Hasbro of the G.I. Joe vehicle and action figure review. And today's vehicle and action figure review we're looking at the Destro's A.G.P, which its acronym stands for Anti-Gravity Pod, and its pilot, the Iron Grenadier Nullifier. Now I got this whole set here, minus the box of course, complete with the A.G.P and the Nullifier figure and the file cut and the instruction manual for a total of $35, which is a little bit pricey, but it's rather hard to find a complete, well, Nullifier with the complete A.G.P as well, along with the file cut. Now, without further ado, let's begin our review on the Nullifier first. Be right back. And we're back, and this time we'll take a look at the Iron Grenadier Nullifier. First things first, let's take a look at the file card. Now the file card here has been cut up by the previous owner. As you can see at the edges of the file card itself, that's the cutout line. And you can find the file card at the back box of the A.G.P packaging. Top section, there are stated code name Nullifier Iron Grenadier A.G.P pilot. Here you got the Nullifier piloting the sitting in the cockpit piloting the A.G.P itself. Now here we have a large write-up. It's stating the only advantage of an anti-gravity pod bracket, considering its poor energy consumption to performance ratio, and bracket, is its ability to turn sharply and to quote and unquote to stop on a dime. Acute maneuvers of this sort can be physically debilitating to anybody but a nullifier. This A.G.P pilots require a 6-hour weight workout every day simply to maintain their massive physique and high levels of endurance. Such training is necessary in order for them to command a vehicle that can reduce a normal man to a gelatinous pulp during the course of a simple turn. I mean, seriously, who would want to actually volunteer themselves to pilot these things if, well, they have to really maintain this kind of a workout, and plus their diet is interesting too. At the bottom, someone commented, Nullifiers are fed solely on a diet of high protein gruel that looks like a grey mush and tastes like wet cardboard. Their muscles are always sore and their nerves are constantly on edge from the stress. Consequently, a nullifier usually has the temperament of a rabid pit bull and is more likely to bite. Again, I'm not too sure why would anyone wants to volunteer to become an A.G.P pilot, considering that you have to constantly work out every day just to maintain that huge body itself, and then you're fed with, well, a high protein gruel that tastes like cardboard. Seriously, that is a very low morale treatment to the A.G.P pilots. And the back of the card itself is, well, part of the cardboard of the box itself. I'll move this one side. Let's take a look at the Figgis accessory. Now the A.G.P doesn't come with any accessories except for the visor, which is removable, but it is also part of the body itself. We have here a purple plastic material colored visor, and the visor here is totally a new mold because no other figures actually have this, well, visor strapped onto their head. And you have a little bit of details there, but nothing really impressive. It's just a visor with serrated armor parts on the front side of the visor. So let's take a look at the Figgis Paint Job. As you can see, the entire figure itself is actually made of a beige plastic material color with a little bit paint job applied onto it. The face itself, well, at least the exposed eyes, the flesh tone skin has been painted. The eyebrows, the pupils of the eyes has been painted in black, and that's all there is for the head. The torso is no paint job at all. There is absolutely no paint job at all. Upper bicep is nothing as well. But for the, well, the corners or the wrist itself, the tubings has been painted in purple. Same goes with, well, the waist itself. Each side of the waist itself, or side of the butt itself, as you can see, is painted in purple. As you can see here, each side of the thighs is painted in black. The padding here is painted in black, and the gun in a holster is also painted in black. Lower shin armor here is also painted in purple. And that's about it. That's all the paint job you're gonna get for the Nullifier. However, let's take a look at the Figgis mold. Now, during the time that it was released in 1989, the Nullifier body parts has not been reused any figure from any of the figure at all. Everything you see on this Nullifier figure when it was first released were all unique and original molds. So it's very nice. Plus the fact that it is this figure, especially on the torso part, is a bit more beefier, more bulkier compared to, well, the other G.I. Joe figures, because according to the file card they have to be. Now for the head itself, the entire back portion of the head is just all roundish flat, but from the front here, the eye section that has been exposed to reveal the eyes, and you got a nice little, well, face mask sloping downwards like so. Very nice. Now the torso part is quite interesting. It's rather beefy looking, and if I'm going to bring it up close a little bit, you get to see a little bit of details onto the torso itself. First things first, the shoulder parts here, as you can see, there's a bit of padding on one side. There's also additional padding here as well. There's a bit of tubing in between the padding. Now the man boobs here, there's a bit of details as well. You can see some mechanical details there. I'm not too sure why there's mechanical details there, or maybe it's not mechanical at all. It's just part of the design, which I'm not too sure. Then at the abdomen area, and there's a bit of, well, I would say a little bit of holes there. Not holes, more like something has been shot onto the Nullifier's lower abdomen area. There's a lot of damages. Quite nicely done, more like bullet hole damages. Very nice. Back portion is just pure flat. There's a bit of tubing there. Each side of the upper bicep there's a huge pad, and also a bit of details as well. Very nice. Lower section of the arms itself, the hands, or the entire gauntlet itself is rated for extra layers of padding, and also there's a bit of tubing as well. Now for the waist section, it's quite interesting, especially on this section here. It looks like, well, it's just been tied in, slip in, just like when you look at a, well, shoelaces, when you slip in the string itself, which is kind of interesting. Here you got the belt itself, and the back portion, the butt here stating 1988 Hasbro made in China. Very nice. Which is a pity that the figure doesn't come with any accessory, because on one side here you got a nice little pistol molded onto the thigh itself. Now the pistol is already in the holster. On the other side is a additional padding, and then we have this big boots here. This armored boots with additional padding as well. The back portion is really nice. As you can see, it's been tied to the legs itself with the armored parts on the shin. Very nice. A lot of nice wrinkles there. And then we have the boots itself. Bottom section of the boots is just pure flat. A lot of nice details on the Nullifier. Very nice details. Let's take a look at the figure's articulation. Bear in mind this is a 1989 release of a G.I. Joe figure, so articulation is limited, but not by too much. The head can move left and right just a little bit, can pivot back and down. Torso is on an O-ring, so it's a rubber band O-ring that actually attach on the torso's peg and connect to the hook right at the waist there. So you can only move the torso left and right, back, side to side and down. You cannot turn it 360 degrees, otherwise you'll end up stressing the rubber band O-ring there and then end up breaking it apart. Shoulders here can turn 360 degrees like so, and lift the shoulders this high. Elbow joint can bend this far and turn 360 degrees. No wrist joints. Then we have the hip joints here that move forward, straight, and to the sides. And then we have the knee joint that bends this far. Very nice. Now let's fully equip the nullifier with the only accessory there. As you can see, each side of the head itself there's a tiny little peg, and you have to connect the pegs to the small little hole on here and here. Then we'll put this in. There you go. The nullifier is covered with a visor, which you can pull the visor up like so. And there you have it. Now the figure itself is actually quite nice with the mold. Paint job wise, there's not a lot of paint job. Everything is either purple or black there. But without any accessories, the figure does look a little bit bland there. But the molds, the detail of the molds are absolutely gorgeous. I really love the tiny little details they put for the figure itself. Except for the back though, the back is rather flat. But everything from the front, it looks really great. Back of the legs is really nice as well. So if I'm gonna give a rating on this, I'll say, well, with the lack of accessories, however, the figure does come with original molds, and it's a bit more beefier than a normal G.I. Joe figure. So I'm gonna give it a nice 7 out of 10. Yes, 7 out of 10 for the nullifier there. Next up, we'll take a look at the A.G.P. Be right back. And we're back, and this time we'll take a look at the A.G.P, which stands for the anti-gravity pawn. But first things first, let's take a look at the instruction manual that came along with it. Now, here at the front page, or the other side will be the front page, but let's take a look at this section here. There's a listing of all the technobabble detailing the parts for the A.G.P, and here on the top section of the image we have a side view of the A.G.P. Bottom section here is the front view instead. On one corner here we have a really large section just for instruction on where to place all the sticker labels, which is not a lot of sticker labels, as you can see there. Not too sure why they need such a large section, but well, it's still alright. On the other side of the instruction manual is to show you how to assemble the A.G.P, which is very simple to assemble. However, the last section of the image is rather interesting. Rather than, well, drawing the nullifier, which is the original pilot for the A.G.P, in the cockpit itself, this is an image of the Iron Grenadier Ferret, the driver for Destro's demon tank. Quite interesting. Not too sure why they do that, but still, it's quite interesting to know that. Let's take a look at the A.G.P itself, starting off with the colors being applied onto it. Now bear in mind, this is a 1989 toy, so whatever colors that you see onto the vehicle itself, this is all plastic material color. And seeing that my version of the A.G.P does not have any sticker labels, so it'll look a little bit bland, but still, for a 1989 complete with everything else, without sticker labels, I can still live without it. Now, as you can see, the main body for the A.G.P itself is made of a black plastic material color for the wings and the body itself. The cockpit itself, the cockpit hatch, is made of a clear red translucent plastic. Now I'm going to open this up. For the inside of the cockpit itself, and two of the engines located each side of the A.G.P. The back fin itself is made of a red plastic material color. For the two guns and 4 of the missiles, 2 on each side, is made of a, I would say, bronze gold plastic material color. Very nice, and that's all the colors there is for the A.G.P. Very simple, but still it does look very nice there. Now, the A.G.P does come with 4 accessories, 4 missiles, and you can actually place 2 of the missiles on each side of the wing itself. And yes, you can actually remove the missiles. This is the peg, and this is where you connect it. like so. Now let's take a close look on the details for the A.G.P. Now each side of the A.G.P. we have a really large engine. We have the intake here, and the back portion is the thrusters. Not a lot of details actually, which is a little bit disappointing. Same goes on the other side. Here we have the cockpit hatch, and I'm going to open this up. As you can see, you can flip the entire hatch all the way up, and it stays up like so. Inside we have the cockpit, and mainly the figure just stands there. You well, sort of sit if you bend the legs a little bit. It's just a little bit of a seating there, but each side of the seating there's a joystick. As you can see there, there's also a bit of details. Not a lot of details there. There's a bit of tubing, wiring, and that's about it. Not a lot of details. As you can see, this is supposed to be the screen itself, but considering how far the distance between the figure's hand that's holding the joystick and you got the screen located in this section, it's pretty inconvenient actually. Then we got the guns. Got really big guns here for each side of the A.G.P. As you can see, the guns here, there's a little bit of details there, and yes, you can swivel the gun 360 degrees. You can also swivel the engine parts 360 degrees as well. It's like a vertical takeoff and landing vehicle. Here we have the wings. The back section of the wings, you got the smaller flaps at the back there, but it's not articulated, of course. Back portion here we have the fin that is also articulated, that goes left and right. The bottom section of the A.G.P. is pretty flat looking. Here is stated 1989 Hasbro Incorporated, and that's about it. The A.G.P. don't actually have interesting gimmicks compared to the Destro's Razorback or Destro's Demon, or even the Destro's Despoiler. At least the Despoiler has a bit of a gimmick that you can connect to the Demon. This one basically is just a plane with a little bit of articulation. Both sides of the jet engines here can pivot down, straight. You got the fin that goes side to side, and you got the guns that basically can swivel 360 degrees, and that's about it. Nothing really special about the A.G.P. And furthermore, it doesn't look like a pod either. It looks more like a plane. Not too sure why they call it a pod. If you remove the wings, then it will look like a pod, but you have wings, so it's more like a small little plane there. Now let's place the nullifier into the cockpit. Just a little bit, having bent a little bit on the knees. Close the cockpit, and there you go. The figure is sitting or standing comfortably inside the cockpit. You must be wondering, does it fit the 25th anniversary figures or the 30th anniversary figures? Let's try it out. On my side, we have the 25th anniversary Iron Grenadier figure, and of course there's so much room for this cockpit. Basically the Iron Grenadier is just standing, and all you have to do is just close it, and there you have it. Plenty of room inside with no problem. Very nice. Overall, the vehicle is nothing really special, although the nullifier figure is actually not bad looking because there's a lot of nice details, but no accessories on the figure is kind of sad. And for the A.G.P, there's not a lot of details, molded details onto the vehicle itself. There's not much of a gimmick, and it's just pretty tad boring actually. It's not really interesting. You got 4 missiles there, you got a swiveling, well, cannons on the bottom section, you got a swiveling engine and articulated fin, and that's about it. There's nothing really that special. And if you compare to any other vehicles, aircraft vehicles, like for Cobra it will be the Cobra Rattler, or for the Joe side it will be the Sky Striker. Even the Mud Fighter actually has some details, but for this vehicle it's not really impressive. It wouldn't won me over. So if I'm gonna give a rating on this, I just give it a 6 out of 10. It's still a not bad vehicle, it's just nothing really pulls you in. So 6 out of 10 for the A.G.P. I thank you all for watching. This is Lucy05 and I'm signing off.